not a staging, but more of a traffic control where they can time these trains in and out of the valley. And they may do that all the way to Texas, too.
What about sidewalks? Somebody else I was talking to said, well, what about sidewalks?
Yeah.
Is that a priority or no?
Yeah.
One of the problems with having sidewalks is that once they're put in, it's up to the owner to maintain them. I'm cheap on them.
Well, that's not a problem, but like I said, with the county planning and the way that the city was laid out right now, they have no definite plan of where to even put the sidewalks. Because I've called them up and they don't know what to do with the sidewalks. Well, we have some roadways, some of these streets out here are 80 feet wide, and that is completely out of the question as far as, because they really don't have a plan. If they had a plan for it, that might be feasible, but they don't have a plan for it.
By 2015, there's going to be a rail line that's going to be going where Westmoreland is. It's going to be cutting this direction. So that should be either started or completed by 2015.
Is that the one that's going to go to San Diego?
Yeah, going to San Diego, man. It's going to
Yeah, it's going out to the sun. The other thing about sidewalks is if you pull a permit for new construction, they're going to make you put a sidewalk in front of your house. So as time goes on, we're going to get sidewalks for everywhere.
Well, yeah, and that's another thing about planning, but I've dealt with those people before, and the thing is, they basically will tell you to do something, but when you go out there to do it, it's completely not feasible. I mean, they had me build a sidewalk over there, and I said, if I put the sidewalk there and I put the curb there, I said that telephone pole is going to be out there in the street. He said, well, we don't have to worry about that right now. So, like I said, they had a good plan out there.
Well, but it's kind of a hard one, because if we actually get a school for night classes for people that actually want to finish schooling or actually want to...
No one's brought up scholarships for school, for college or anything else.
That's a good one.
Right. We have one group in town here that does it, and I think also the Chamber of Commerce, our Obedience Fund is the fire department. So we have basically 3 organizations here that have scholarships for people that go to college, but I think none of them are really fully funded, and they provide a little bit of assistance, but not enough. So.
But scholarship is something the Niland Chamber already does?
Yeah, but so it's not to a great extent. I mean, what do you people give? About $300?
$350.
$350? Okay, $350 for what? One semester?
Well, it's just that's all it is.
Fire department got scholarships.
And
Niland Chamber of Commerce and the American Legion.
So that's 4 of them. But how much total will that give a person if he's going to school?
Usually the books for the first year and part of the tuition.
So, yeah, but what I'm trying to get is what is the number? What is the number if a person applied for all 4 of these scholarships? What is the amount of money that he or she would get?
I think she got about $1,000 that first year.
And that if he was going off to college someplace out of the valley, would that be a great deal of help?
It would help pay for books.
But not really help him with his college education.
He got the first semester books.
So if we get a scholarship that's going to give him $3,000 or a couple $1,000 per semester, help him pay for living and food, that would definitely help some poverty children that need to go to college. I wish I had something like that when I could have been a smart person. So scholarships, I think, is important. If we can get that funded.
Is there anything else you'd like for us to add to the list?
Otherwise, we're going to eat cake and drink beer.
What about would there be any possibility in attracting some educational opportunities into the community?
Training?
Well, for example, they had the ROP thing, but what I was thinking of is, for example, if AWC had an extension out here.
I don't think putting extension out here, but I think one of the things that we might do with these companies, especially with the solar people, is talk to them about maybe getting a certain number of their employees in a training program that would help these people here in the community go and learn something about solar. Solar is going to be a big deal. So if someone can get even a little amount of training, it would be a great help in going out and getting a job.
If extending that, if you're going into an agreement
Yeah.
with somebody proposing a development, make that
That
part of
sounds
the
like a
deal.
very
We want to talk to the colleges too to see if they will
train
sell.
local kids to take
Yeah.
that job.
Because if they build a lot of solar down here, basically, we can become a training center for solar people. We want to talk to the people at the college and get some type of program set up with them, the developers, so that we can train people in solar and we can train people that are here. And people will come to this community to be trained in the solar projects.
Speaking of solar, though, some of them talks about a showcase, this is a possibility to showcase, so people coming through could kind of see this
Yeah,
little display, so to speak.
I think that's one of the things we want to do with this solar company is say, okay, put the solar panels on this building, use this as a showcase for people coming through. I mean, we can put a sign out there, off the solar, furnishes the Chamber of Commerce. We can, I mean, we can make this thing a positive for them and for us. You have something to say?
Yeah, well, addressing the adult ed program that the high school used to have, there weren't enough students to continue the funding, so we lost the funding from the school district. But one of the things, it's up there, library service. If we could keep the Niland Library open with their connection to the internet, you can do online.
And that might be one of the most achievable of all of these things. That's the sort of thing that a company like that might be able to help with.
I think.
How much a shame if we lose it, because we went in there the other day and we were very impressed by the offering.
I think what we need to do is maybe, Maria, you can contact Ms. Barrett and find out exactly how much that thing costs a month. That would be a nice thing to know. And maybe we can get full funding for that. Because the library, if it closes up, there's the Wi-Fi connection that they have, is used a great deal by a lot of people. Verizon just added another Wi-Fi out here on our tower too.
And not only by the resident community, but by the seasonal community uses that library a lot.
Yes, that's true. Okay, anything else? Or we're going to go for cake and punch?
Yeah.
One more idea, fast food.
Huh?
Fast food.
What do you want? Tacos or burritos? All we got is cake right now.
Jack in the Box.
What we need to do is contact the restaurant people, have them improve their menu. When I walk into a place, I want good food. And when you have good food, you will go back. Because some of you women cannot cook.
Oh. I can make grilled sandwiches.
But do you want fast food that's
Okay,
chain?
I want
If the fast food's a chain restaurant, that means the revenue and the profit that chain store makes
It's going out of the
county.
county. Yeah.
What we have right now are community restaurants, and
We need
that
to
profit
support
is staying in the community.
We need to go down and tell them how to make a menu. So I want to thank all of you for coming. There's cake and punch. Once we go to this meeting tomorrow, we will...
What are you going to tell them at the meeting tomorrow? What sort of agenda or outline of what you're going to say?
It is basically, we are going to tell them who we are. Okay, we're going to give them a short history on what the Niland Chamber of Commerce is. Okay, and then we're going to come up with, basically it's going to be a face-to-face meeting where we are going to introduce ourselves, and then we're going to introduce what the community has said. Okay, and we're going to
find... Can you go over what you've come up with so far, to recap?
Well, what we want to do is basically, right now I asked the Chamber of Commerce before as to who wanted to be on this thing, and basically what we came up with was him and I were doing this, okay? Well, if anyone else wants to get involved in basically grading these things out and basically putting these...
What are you going to tell the people tomorrow? What do you have right now